I'm excited today. I have Colonel Cook with me, and we have Reese, and we have Mason, and we're going to be talking today about ROTC. And I know if you go to the ball games or any activities, you see students that are welcoming you, helping you to park, and then you guys are very busy all year with lots of programs. And I know this has been a great year, and you've had a lot of things to celebrate already. And then we're not even at the halfway point. There's a lot of things still ahead. So,
Sure.
Colonel, would you mind jumping in and just kind of, what are some of the highlights of the year so far?
Well, we brought a robotics program back, and that's probably the one thing that's changed from last year. So obviously we still have Raiders, we have archery, we have drones, we have rifle, but we brought robotics back that had been, put on the shelf for a couple of years. We didn't have the interest that we wanted for a couple of years, and so started no doubt kind of focused on drones, which we ended up doing really well at. In fact, we won the national championship last year.
So that's a really good
yes, sir.
starting point for it, right?
Right. And so we brought robotics back not only as an extracurricular, but we have a class. So our 8th-hour class is robotics, and we have 20 kids in there. Some in JROTC, some not. Some in the team and some not, but they'll compete this weekend for the first time in Potosi, Missouri. So we'll see how the robots do. But it's from the ground up. They have to plan it and build it and program it, and we'll see how they do.
And I think when you use terminology like at first, like drones, the average person's thinking, oh, you're flying a drone. But when I watch the competitions, I mean, you're in a tight room and you have an obstacle course.
Yes, sir.
It's very difficult. So we still have the drone team, and
Yes, sir.
they're doing well.
Yeah, we haven't really started with it yet.
Okay.
Again, we're focused on robotics, but the competitions will be in February. So
Okay.
we're probably going to get started on that in the next couple of weeks with those teams. And just they change the game every year, so you can't go back to last year's game and say, here's how we do this. So you have to bring a new kid in and show them how the game plays out this year. So we've got a new team captain, Jeremiah Lemon, so he's going to do a good job. He's just a sophomore, so I'm looking forward to seeing how well he does.
And you'll have him for a couple of years.
Yes, sir.
which you
3
have
more
too.
years.
That's
2
good.
more years.
That's good. What else is coming up in the winter sports or winter season for you?
Well, Raider kind of ended early, so we did 3 competitions. We went to Neosho, Ozark, and Sedalia, and then, of course, the government shutdown forced the Army to cancel Raider Nationals in Fort Knox, Kentucky. I should say they canceled it. They moved it to the spring, and so once the government gets started again, the Army's funded again, we can potentially go and do that in April. So that got cut a little short, so now we've switched to focus on Winter Raider. So we have 2 Winter Raider competitions, which I'm really looking forward to. One's called Arctic, because it's in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan in January. So you wear snowshoes, you pull skid coast across the ice, you have to do a stress shoot.
Oh,
So
wow.
you have to run and then pull up an air rifle and actually shoot targets. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. And we're going to take 2 teams up there. It'll be 16 kids. So I'm looking forward to see how well we do with
Now,
that.
from thinking about a parent, like if I'm a parent and I have a junior high student,
Yes, sir.
and I'm hearing you use the term Raider, explain in more detail what Raider is.
Well, neither of these 2 students are Raiders, although they
So
certainly
you
know
guys
what they
both
are.
Raiders?
There's 2 types of people in the world, Raiders and those who want to be. So
Okay.
they're wannabe Raiders.
Oh, he's really good.
Yeah.
Raider really is like a Tough Mudder competition, except it's about 6 hours long. So it takes about an entire Saturday morning, maybe plus a couple of hours. But it's obstacle courses, it's a 5K ruck run, it's students deciding how to tackle these obstacles and then doing it as a team. And so it's usually 8 or 10 students, kind of depends on the meet. And you have a team captain, and we just have to watch as instructors and watch the kids, and they kind of decide how they want to negotiate these obstacles on their own. So it's student-led, like almost all of JROTC is. And so it's a great leadership experience for them. It's a great physical experience for the entire team, and they get a lot out of it, I think.
And if I'm a student and I'm moving to the high school and I wanted to consider ROTC, it doesn't mean that you have to be in the military. It doesn't mean if you're not a Raider type kid, you don't have to do Raider. There's a lot of options.
Yes, sir.
So what are some, from a student perspective, what are some of the cool things? If I'm in 7th grade or 8th grade, I'm thinking about going to the high school, why should I be in ROTC, and what are some of the neat things that you get to do?
Well, I mean, so obviously most of the boys will have an interest in shooting rifles and all that. So that's the rifle team. So you get to go shoot an air rifle, which it's equivalent to a 22 pellet, I believe.
Yeah, 177.
Yeah. So I mean, you get to go shoot a rifle in the middle of the school day for a competition. Like, and you get to get out of class and go shoot. I mean, who wouldn't enjoy that?
No, but it's a lot different than just going out. If you like hunting, it's not like squirrel hunting. There's a special rifle, special technique.
Yeah, it's a it's a pellet rifle, and so then we have like multiple different positions. Like we have 3 positions that we have to do, and 10 shots per position usually, and it's usually our 10 meter range is what we shoot at, and so it's a lot harder than a lot of people think, but it's
and
fun.
one thing, although in being a former high school principal, colleges give scholarships for this, but it's not just redneck country kids shooting a deer rifle. It's a totally different technique. And like with archery, Gina Davis, the actress, was in the Olympics, and archery, there's scholarships for college for it.
Yeah.
So if you're a student and you like hunting and all, but would like to learn a different way to shoot an arrow or to be on a rifle team, there's ways to have your college paid for partially.
And especially with how recently I believe it was 1 or 2 years ago when we won the national archery for ROTC.
We did.
And so, that's another part of it. And right now that's kind of on the back burner since we have robotics and drones coming up, but that is picking up this winter season going into the fall and into the spring season. And then on top of that, we also have, again, drones and robotics, which is another thing that kids can look forward to. So if you're not the go get shoes dirty and you're willing to program a computer or a robot to do a certain path and certain activity, and you can just get in
So if you have an interest in a tech field and you're techie,
Yep.
and plus cybersecurity with the government's a big deal. If you wanted to work for the government, you're techie. You don't have to have a gun. You can be helping the government keep us safe with cybersecurity. And with the archery, one thing I've learned, my daughter-in-law once stayed a few times in Mississippi, but the archery teams have to have so many females, so it gives the girls a chance to earn scholarships and shoot arrows too. It's not just an all-male sport.
Yeah.
When I've told the rifle team often, rifle and archery, a lot of times our girls are our best shooters because they seem to be able to focus a little better and they listen a little better than the boys. The boys all think they've got it down pat before they get in there, but the girls are willing to listen to the techniques and the things that are specific to how we shoot, and so they'll focus on that.
Because you're not using a fancy compound bow. You're using all the same type of bow. It's real simple. What else do you do that's fun?
Orienteering, we've got.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, land navigation. So we set up an orienteering course last spring that the kids really enjoyed. So put points out. They had to plot them on a map and then go find them. And it's kind of like a adult Easter egg hunt, but it was.
Yeah.
They had a lot of fun doing it.
You got to learn how to use a compass and track how far you've gone compared to what you need to go. So spatial awareness, I guess, would be another part of that.
Map reading.
You have to learn. Yeah.
And Mason, earlier you shared you're with soccer.
Yes.
Reese, you're with the band.
Yeah.
But I know the band group hangs out together. Soccer, you have friends, but also ROTC gives you another group of friends to hang out with in a community, especially when things are student-led. That kind of helps you to build your teamwork and learn how to work with others.
And I think at the point of that for 7th and 8th graders is you can balance a few things in high school. In fact, you almost have to if you want to do multiple things. And so these kids are obviously very busy with other things, but they can also do JROTC and be involved with it, not just take the class.
It's helping you with life because you have to learn how to work with others. You're going to have a balance in life. You have your family, you have bills, you have jobs. So you have a lot of different things and keep your grades up too.
And a lot of the kids work as well. So it's pretty impressive to me what all they can juggle. It's more than I had to juggle.
Oh, they're busier than ever before.
Yes, sir.
People might be critical of our younger generation. I'm like, they take harder classes, they have more things to do, and they're very engaged in balancing it all.
Yes, sir.
So, Colonel, what else is exciting about the year? I know you've got a lot of other things out there.
We do. We're getting more and more calls to support veterans events. We do Matthews every year. We went yesterday, actually, and we got to go to the Legends Theater with the Color Guard. They asked us to come down and do that for Branson's Veterans Appreciation Week. So we took a color guard down to Legends. Clay Cooper was there. And
really?
I've never been down there, but it was really neat. And we walked out and we saw President Trump's an impersonator who talked to us. It was entertaining. The kids really enjoyed it.
So they had a good time?
They did. And you get the visibility of 300 or 400 veterans and support them in the Branson area. So lots of things like that. We'll go next week to Castlewood, to a retirement community that's over here between here and Fremont Hills, and we'll do what's called 13 Folds. We have the scripted 13 Folds of the American flag, so we'll do that. So we have a lot of community visibility, which is good. So, and that kind of continues throughout the year. We will probably have about 100 events this year that we will do.
Over 100 events.
Yes, sir.
And Colonel, I know we have a strong community supports the military. We have a lot of veterans. Also, even though they're not in the military, we have a lot of first responders, healthcare people. Right. They're all somewhere in their core DNA. But if someone hasn't been to the high school, we have a special program at the high school. Could you describe it for someone so they'll know kind of what we do for the Veterans Day at the high school?
Oh, sure. So the high school, I've been a teacher for 8 years now in a couple of different districts, and this is probably the best Veterans Day that I've seen. And in my previous district, I traveled to a lot of different ones, and so this one is really pretty special. So they'll bring in, I think they'll have about 80 again this year, 80 veterans. They'll come in, they'll individually recognize them as they come onto the floor, and not just their name. It's their name, their dates of service, and what their rank was if they want to have that presented. They come in, the band plays the medley, Armed Services medley, and so when they do that, we'll walk through with each of the service flags, with the one exception being the Space Force, because they're still too new, right? So they'll walk with the Air Force, but all the other services flags will walk through, and when they walk through, the veterans stand up to their song. So that's kind of recognizes them and their service. And then last year we did 13 Folds as part of the ceremony. This year we'll do the swearing in, and again, Mason's dad will do the swearing in of this.
That'll be neat. Your senior year and your dad's going to do the swearing in.
So what he's swearing in are the 5 seniors that we currently have that have already enlisted in the service. So we have 5 seniors in JROTC that have already said, I'm going to enlist, and they've already cleared the MEPS process so they can go in. And so he's going to re-swear them in as part of the ceremony and kind of treat them as future veterans, if you will. And then we have 3 student speakers that are going to speak at the ceremony this year. And then we have a luncheon afterwards. So it's quite an event, and it's pretty special.
It's every district you go to, you have things that you're like, I would take this away. This is the best. And in Nixa, the way we have our Veterans Day is the best.
Yes, sir.
It's very emotional. It's uplifting to our veterans. And then we do something that I think other people don't do, but like at graduation, we have a great graduation. But the only group of individual students that stand up are the ones that have signed up for the military.
Yes, sir.
And we always have about 4 to 7, depending on the year.
Right. Yeah, I know of 5 at least that are in JROTC, but there are a couple others that are in the National Guard already that aren't in our program. But so there's probably 6 or 7 again this year, and maybe a couple to the service academies, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, anything else, Mason, Reese, Colonel? As far as we wrap up, any other things you'd like to share? I mean,
it's a busy year. I love having the kids. They love being engaged, and we're here for the community. And so we'll be out at the Christmas Day Parade. We'll be at the Sucker Day Parade. We'll be marching. And with our hats on and our costumes and calling cadence, and kids love it. And so if you're out there,
when they have their uniforms on at school, that kind of changes the tone.
Yes, sir. And we're wearing a couple of different uniforms. We wear the camouflage uniform a little more now than we used to. Kids don't like wearing the dress uniform all day. It gets a little cumbersome. It's not super comfortable. So we switched to wearing the camouflage a little bit more, and kids seem to like that a little better.
Something different, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how many students do you have in the program?
97 if you count the robotics kids.
Okay, so almost 100.
Yes, sir.
And again, if someone's looking at joining or being a part of ROTC, you don't have to obligate yourself to the military, but you can. And there's great scholarships. There's a lot of different things that you can do. So if you're all into like Tough Man, getting muddy, you can do the Raider. But then you have the ability to do other things too. And then have a good peer group to hang with.
Yes, sir.
Good. I want to just thank you guys for coming in today. And good luck with the rest of the school year. And you're going into the military. You're going to be an MP like your dad.
Yeah, that's the goal.
And have you decided? You said no military, but do you know what you want to do yet?
I'm not really sure. I'm still very undecided right now.
And you're not a senior. You got a little time.
Yeah.
But in life, even if you're a senior, people change their minds. Colonel, thank you for coming
Yes,
in
sir.
today
Thank you.
and for leading our program.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.